A respected scholar once said that the difference between technology and slavery is that slaves are fully aware that they are not free. It is this overuse of technology, and screen abuse in particular, that has led us to ask the question, how does screen time affect work performance? That is, the performance of a student with their college work. In this video, we will analyse how screen time affects a college student's cognitive function, sleeping pattern, attention levels and physical health, and ultimately their overall work performance.
Cognitive functions are the mental processes such as memory, attention and learning that lead to the acquisition of knowledge and allow us to carry out daily tasks. Neuroimaging techniques has allowed us to observe the relationship between screen time and our brain's cognitive function. Many studies have used voxel-based morphometric tests, or VBM, in order to examine the structural and functional changes that occurred in the brains of those who have been exposed to prolonged screen time when compared to a control group. The main area affected was the frontal lobe of the brain, where processing occurs, and other functions such as planning, problem-solving, organization, decision-making, and impulse control. These are all key functions which directly influence a person's work performance.
Those exposed to higher level of screen time experienced atrophy, which is loss of tissue volume in grey matter regions of the brain. This is demonstrated in the graph on screen, where there was a negative relationship found between the time spent looking at a screen and grey matter tissue volume across various locations in the brain.
Studies have shown that people check their phones up to 150 times per day. That's once every 6 to 7 minutes. As an experiment, I downloaded an application which monitors screen time throughout the day. As you can see from the diagram, on one day in particular, I unlocked my phone 165 times. This then translated into just over 6 hours of screen time. It was really eye-opening to see that I could spend that much time on my smartphone unaware to myself. From our survey that we conducted of 48 respondents, we found that 98% of them said that they checked their phone despite not receiving a notification. We also found that 29% of them checked their phone every 15 minutes or less, with 38% of them checking them 15 minutes to half an hour. From these results, it is quite clear that screen abuse is high amongst students. From our research, we have seen that the term FOMO is often used and seems to be a key driving force of why people constantly check their phones. FOMO, or the fear of missing out, can be understood as an envy-related anxiety about missed experience and belonging. A notification causes a trigger in the brain's activation of dopamine, which is something we as humans all crave. Once interrupted, it can take the brain almost 30 minutes to re-engage with the original task. This can be a major distraction for any student trying to complete an assignment or project.
We want to do some research and see how screen time affected sleep and how this could affect a college student's work performance. We did a survey with university students and we found that 90% of the people asked are using some sort of digital device an hour prior to going to bed. Studies show that the blue light emitted from these digital devices mimics daytime and suppresses melatonin. Melatonin is a sleep-promoting hormone that triggers sleep when darkness occurs at night. Just a few minutes of screen stimulation in the darkness can suppress melatonin release by several hours and can desynchronize the body's natural clock. The ramifications for this on a college student's work performance are massive. It makes your attention falter, your memory is impaired, your ability to think through problems is challenged, and you're at a much higher risk of gaining weight. Experts say that the easiest way to mitigate this problem is by just putting away any digital device you may use an hour prior to going to bed.
Many people don't know that prolonged screen time can cause negative effects on your physical health, which will ultimately affect your work performance. 3 of the most common effects among students are digital eye strain, text neck, and cyber sickness. Digital eye strain, also known as computer vision syndrome, is caused by looking at a screen, whether on a mobile device, TV, or monitor, for a long period of time. Blue light emitted from digital devices has a very short wavelength and so produces a higher amount of energy. The flickering created by these wavelengths can reduce visual contrast, leading to digital eye strain. Studies suggest that continued exposure to blue light over time could lead to damaged retinal cells. This can cause vision problems like age-related macular degeneration. Text neck is a term used to describe the neck pain and damage sustained from looking down at your mobile device, laptop, or monitor too frequently and for too long. Although we've all looked down to read, the problem with using mobile devices is that people tend to do it for much longer periods. Looking at the diagram here, an adult head weighs 10 to 12 pounds in a neutral position, but at 60 degrees it can force the neck to experience up to 60 pounds of pressure. It is especially concerning because students to young children could possibly cause early wear and tear to their cervical spines that could lead to lifelong neck pain and even cyber sickness is similar to motion sickness and typically occurs during or after immersion in a virtual environment. It's a natural response to an unnatural environment. It stems from a basic mismatch between three sensory systems: visual, vestibular, and proprioceptive. It occurs when a user experiences fast motion on a screen and covers anything from a car chase in a film to spending hours scrolling through web pages on your phone or computer. The more realistic the content is, the higher your chances of experiencing cyber sickness. Follow these steps to prevent or relieve the symptoms of physical effects. Practice 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away. Remind yourself to blink more often. Staring at a digital device can affect the number of times you blink, causing eyes to dry out. Adjust the brightness of your device. Consider changing your background color from a bright white to cool gray. Adjust your screen so it is directly in front of your face and slightly below eye level. When using a computer, first, sit in your chair and extend your arm. Your palm should rest comfortably on the monitor as if you're high-fiving the screen. From our survey results of 48 respondents, we found out that 60% were aware that screen time can physically affect your body, while 40% were unaware. 48% have experienced text neck, 71% have experienced eye strain, and 34% have experienced cyber sickness. 51% of respondents stated they were unable to complete their work after experiencing one or more of these physical effects.
From our time spent researching this project, it became evident to us that the overuse of screens does affect students' work performance, as it has adverse effects on their cognitive abilities, is a hindrance to a healthy sleeping pattern, impairs students' attention spans, and degrades their physical health, so ultimately has a detrimental effect on their overall work performance. Although we believe that the overuse of screens affects work performance, and have laid out why we believe so, the long-term effects of screen abuse are not fully known. This is why we believe the answer to our question really matters, because the answer itself is unknown, which in today's world is a rarity.